Jai Gurudev, everyone, and welcome to this satsang. Today I want to talk about, I had a certain question from one person about food and spirituality, and food, how it affects our mind, and how it affects our body. So, what we need to understand is that food is to produce energy, right? So food produces a certain energy for our mind, and food produces a certain energy for the physical body, correct? So there is something that we all have. We have three qualities, and those qualities are called the three gunas. Okay, so if you go into yoga, or even if you go into Ayurveda, you are going to learn about the three gunas, and there are three different qualities that is affecting us as human beings. So if we take it a step further, there is something called prakriti, and prakriti means matter, right? So those three qualities are created out of this matter. So out of this prakriti comes sattva, rajas, and tamas. Okay? So let's start with the tamas. The tamasic energy which are created is darkness. And darkness also represents ignorance. So we can take an example is those days that you are so dull that you don't want to go out of bed. Yeah? This is a tamasic quality. And if we then connect this tamasic quality into the food that we are eating, the tamasic quality is meat, can often be tamasic. Fast food can be tamasic. Food that make you very tired, make your mind dull, and make your mind ignorant. This is food which fits into the category of tamasic energy. Then we have something called rajas or rajastic energy, and this is the active energy. Okay, so some type of food that we are eating are creating a lot of activity both in the physical body and in our mind. So the active energy makes our mind goes faster. You know, sometimes when you are not able to go to sleep, you want to go to sleep, but you are too active, right? It's hard to go to sleep. This is often due to a very rajastic mind. And a very rajastic mind is an overactive mind. This is often when the nervous system is overheated, you know? So let's take some type of food. Let's say you use a lot of garlic, chili. Let's say you are eating fish. You are eating a lot of eggs. This creates too much heat in the nervous system. And too much heat in the nervous system creates this rajastic quality. It's not often always, it's not always bad, okay? But in some parts of our lifestyle, we need this quality because we need to be active. Let's say we have kids, right? We need to be active to take care of the kids, cooking the food, cleaning the house, you know? We need to be active, sports people, they need to be active. They have a very rajastic quality. So everything is not always negative, but when it comes to an overheated nervous system, when it comes to too much fire in the nervous system, then it also goes out to the mind. And when the mind gets affected, it's very hard to transcend into the sattvic quality. Okay? And the sattvic quality is this pure light energy, this mind of silence, this calmness, this positivity. When you eat what we call a yogic diet or a vegetarian diet, let's say we have some lentils with some coconut milk, or a salad with quinoa or something like this. This has very sattvic qualities to it, and this will also bring sattvic qualities to the mind. Okay, so there are many things to think about, but to know about this is very important. It's very important because it affects your health, because health is also in the mind, not just in the physical body. Yeah, it's also in the mind. When you think too much, you're ill. That's a disease. You think too much. You don't have to. And you don't have to bring certain food. When you bring certain food, it activates the thinking process. Okay? So, if we practice meditation, or if we do japam, we do mantras, we're practicing self-observation, we are eating a clean, proper diet, we do exercises, maybe we do sports, maybe we do yoga, martial arts, we go swim, whatever, we are taking care of ourselves. Okay? And the purer you become, the more sensitive you will be, and the more you will experience. Let's say, I can take myself for example. Today, excuse me, I can just look at the food, and I can tell this will create sattvic energy, this will create rajasic energy, this will create tamasic energy. Because when the pranic level of the food is low, then I know this will happen inside of me if I eat it. I can take yesterday as an example. I was going out to the temple here that we have to do my evening practice. So, we have kids, and sometimes it takes time to get them to bed, They become active, and they, need the parents to go to sleep. So the clock was 9. And basically, I don't want to eat at that time, because I know if I'm going out there, I'm going to do a couple of hours of japam, of meditation, of kriyas. Then I don't want my body to be in a digestive mode. Because if the fire is working with digesting the food, it means that it takes energy. And the energy goes down to the stomach area. But my energy needs to be here when I do my meditation. Okay? So what I did was, my wife was doing pancakes. I love her pancakes, but I knew that if I eat them now, it will affect my practice. So what I did was, I just did a drink. I put some Kangen water, the 9.5 water, with a high level of pH. And then I added some green powders. I have, the spirulina, chlorella, wheatgrass, moringa, and brahmi in a blend. It's a very potent and powerful blend. And I drink that, and I was fine. And then I could go. I know that I will not eat until 9 next morning. I know there is a 12 hours fast here because I have not eaten since 3 o'clock also before. So this is how I do, because my number one priority is my sadhana, which is the spiritual practice. And then my priority also is the health of my mind, the health of my emotions, and the health of my physical body. So what we need to think of is, where are you, or where you are in those three qualities that I just mentioned. I mentioned sattva, I mentioned rajas, I mentioned tamas. Because when you start to do spiritual practice, you will become more and more sattvic by nature. And in the end, as Krishna is talking about in the Bhagavad Gita, we are also transcending beyond the three gunas and live in a higher quality of life. But until then, we will be very tamasic and we will be very sattvic. Okay, so you can notice this by eating properly, mantra meditation. You are going to, let's say, you are now having 70% of tamasic energy, 10% of rajasic energy, and 10% of sattvic energy. So you start to do spiritual practice. You start to do meditation, mantra, you're carrying out for yourself, right? And in 3 months, you will notice that the tamasic energy is down to 70%. And the rajasic energy stayed the same, and you added more qualities to the sattvic energy. So you experience more peace in mind, more ease in the body, more positivity, more creativity, more flow. Yeah? So this is how it goes. And if you continue 2 years, 3 years, 7 years, 14 years, you can transcend this totally and be in a higher quality in life. Okay? So to come to the full conclusion here is, be very aware of what you eat. Okay? Everything you put into your mouth becomes an energy. And that energy affects your mind, your thinking, and the physical body. If you want to become more enlightened, more aware, more healthy, more positive, be able to control mind, control the desires, then you need to add this discipline in your life. Because what we need to understand is that the mind is following. Here is the desires. And the mind is following the desires because the mind is weak. And when the mind becomes strong, the desire doesn't control you anymore. And certain type of food makes certain desires stronger. Okay? So when you realize this, and when you start to observe how your mind works, then you can understand the quality of the mind you have. You know, the mind likes to manipulate you. The mind likes to be in control. The mind likes to be in your old programming about fear, about doubt. How many times in life haven't you had doubt? You know? Doubt is a quality of the lower mind. Full trust is a quality of an awakened heart. Fear is a quality of the lower mind. Unconditional love is an energy of an awakened heart. So, in time we are living in today, it's very easy to become distracted. A developed mind will always be clear. An undeveloped mind, which may be very rajasic and tamasic, and some food has done that you cannot keep focus. So you maybe scroll through down the Facebook or your email, or you watch something and you lose focus. We want to do so many things. And today, when we are offering so much, or offered so much, on social media, and, there are so many things. The more we get into those things, the more we get programmed with those things. Everyone you spend time with, everything you put into your mouth as food, you drink, you watch things, it catches up by the senses, right? For example, the nose, the smell is also connected to anger. The eyes are connected to outer worldly things. And when we see something beautiful, we want to run after it, isn't it? We taste something, we want to have more of that taste. But someone who has the quality of a sattvic mind, a quality of mastering of desires and the senses, are not fooled into the material world, are not fooled to go into the desires, because he knows that God is the only thing that I search for. And he knows that everything I do is in the service of the Lord. He knows that everything is God. God is doing everything in everyone, always. But someone who is ignorant believe he or she is the doer. We attune ourselves to I am this, I am the doer. No. It's like you look at the sun, right? The sun is shining. The sun is there. Who created the sun? Who makes the sun shine? There is something beyond it, yeah? This you have to go to. It's like you're going deep into yourself, Let's say you are in the level of the ego. I am thinking. I am right, The ego is always, I am right, yeah? I know best. And then you take a step back. You observe. You observing your someone saying, some identity saying, I know best. And then you can observe that there has to be some force that makes this awareness of the observer even be there. And this is where we want to be. Because then we can have a clear understanding of the reality, the truth. Truth never comes from the ego or from the mind. Truth is beyond mind. We can never realize the truth, our true self, from the level of our mind and the level of our ego. It is not possible. Because the level of mind and ego is limited. God is unlimited, and so are you. Thank you for watching. Jai Gurudev.